Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everybody else in between. This is another OGL video. Yeah, as you can tell by my tone, I am not happy. Um, this is the second attempt to make this video. The first attempt was me basically reading off the screen, and then me forgetting to turn off Discord on my computer. And for privacy reasons to the Discord chat that popped up, I knew better than to publish that. So, I do apologize. But after the last video I made, I just signed myself for covering any update from the OGL dumpster fire essentially going on. So, my energy is not as what I want it to be, but I need to make a video on this still, just because it's me and D&D. All right, D&D has a very special place in my heart. So for this take, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to basically read the website page again, and try not to regurgitate stuff people have already said. Main reason I'm trying to do that is because this dropped while I was at one of my jobs, or actually in the during my morning job. I skimmed it. I didn't like how it was worded. And then I was like, alright, I'm going to try to skim it again, and maybe next break I get at my second job. So I skimmed it at my second job. And I got more annoyed. So I was like, alright, let's see if I can cover this when I'm home. Got home, tried the first upload, ran into some problems. Hit the second upload. So, slight backstory tangent over about this video. Now we're getting into the meat and the juicy bits for this. So, I'm going to place a link to the website article in the description below. So if you want to read along with me as I read off screen, go ahead. If you want to put me in a background but still listen, go ahead. If you want to look at my ugly mug as I try to read something, go ahead. Where to begin? I guess where all good campaigns start. At the beginning. So, we initially conceived an update on the Open Game License, OGL, by Dndbeyond staff. This is 13 hours ago is what the website is telling me at the time of this recording. And I understand why they wrote by Dndbeyond staff, because they were getting death threats. And I have to... It's annoying that I have to say this. As angry as we are, we don't need to give them death threats. Okay? We are better than that. So, I hope anybody watching this video aren't the ones sending these poor guys death threats, but don't. That's not going to help us. Alright, that's literally going to feed all our problems a lot more. So, it starts out with, when we initially conceived the revising of OGL, it was with 3 major goals in mind. Okay, good start. First, we want the ability to prevent the use of D&D content from being included in hateful and discriminatory products. Okay, good, but to my knowledge, there are very few products where that actually happened. I mean, if somebody were to give me a list, I might be proven wrong, but just from memory of me playing D&D, the only time D&D would go harmful is if the GM made a bad call, or there was a bad player, or stuff. Things were more controlled, you know? Or Rough Adventure League time, but those are videos for another time. Second, we wanted to address those attempting to use D&D in Web3, blockchain games, and NFTs by making it clear that the OGL is limited to tabletop role-playing content like campaigns, modules, and supplements. That should have been the goal. That should have really just been the main goal. And nobody would have started a there wouldn't be such a loud reaction. There really would, if you just should have kept with that goal, you know? You're overdoing it. You're overdoing your quest right now. And third, we wanted to ensure that the OGL is for the content creator, the homebrewer, the aspiring designer, our player, and community, not major corporations to use for their own commercial and promotional purpose. There's a lot wrong with that line. We're going to have to unpack that later. But if that was the real intent, why did it take a leak, an actual leak, for the community to find out? You know, like, there shouldn't... The main reason we found out about this is because an employee that you guys had was scared for the franchise and for D&D. And I can guarantee you, he probably went through a change of pants after he decided to pull the trigger to leak this information to us. You're failing your quest pretty hard right now. Give us the good bits. What? Stop flowering it around. Just be honest. Because that third one, you failed fucking spectacularly. And I'm trying not to cuss as much, but I'm probably going to be cussing up Storm. This might be the video I'm going to cuss the most on. So, little Jimmy at home, do not watch this video. Okay, little Jimmy, I mean anybody that's still going through elementary. Driving these goals were two simple principles. Yeah, okay, so the two simple principles were life through your teeth? No, that's not what they said. 1, our job is to be good stewards of the game. Okay. There shouldn't be a 2 after that. Just be good stewards of the game. That's pretty self-explanatory. Be the good GM. And 2, the OGL exists for the benefit of the fans. Nothing about those principles have wavered for a second. No. No. That's a fucking lie. The benefit of the fans. I'm sorry, but it's kind of hard to accept that after the leak. They're not even addressing the leak right now. They're not even addressing the leak. Oh, the leak. Oh, there's no war, Ba Sing Se. Ba Sing Se just accidentally sent a fire squad on its own people in front of the rest of the nations. Yeah. There's no civil war in Ba Sing Se. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. However, it's cleared from the reaction. All right, hold on. No, that was a second. That was why our early drafts of the new OGL included the provisions they did. The provisions that they did. A 9,000-page document. It took you 9... I could be... My information on that could be wrong, YouTube. But if that was your actual goal, the draft could have just been those 2 bits. That should have been it. And then, after that, here's what we tweak into the mechanics. Here's what we're tweaking to, just small little tweaks, like maybe fix some of the problems people that love 5th edition but want to improve it have been telling you for years. Let's see. Okay. That was why our early draft of the new OGL included provisions they did. The draft language was provided to content creators and publishers so their feedback could be considered before anything was finalized. Oh, before anything was finalized. Okay, so even though that line right there says, "Oh, nothing was finalized. It was just a draft, guys. It was a draft. It was a notebook paper. That's all it was." I'm sorry, no, I can't believe that. Just because a employee leaked this information. Okay, okay. If a kid is if a kid is worried about the class they're in, they don't go home waving a note paper to their mom and dad, be like, "Mom, Dad, the teacher is not teaching. These are the notes that they forced me to make." No, no. Like, he walked out with a billboard and saying, "Yo, we need to get attention on this." And that billboard was set up on lights by a classmate seeing that. And now you're in the trouble you're in. In addition to the language allowing us to address discriminatory and hateful conduct and clarifying what types of products the OGL covers, our drafts include royalty language designed to apply. Okay, I gotta stop right there. Slightly rewind on the discriminatory and hateful conduct and clarify what types of products OGL covers. Again, you could have simplified that step easily. Hey, welcome to D&D. Don't be a dick. Simple as that, you know? Like, respect your fellow player. Problems come up in every play group, alright? But a healthy play group works through those problems. And there is no universal play group. D&D, okay? There is no universal play group. I don't understand where D&D got this idea. It's like, oh, no, there has to be a universal setup for every campaign system. Like, this feels like this is this feels like this is written by the extra credits guy that did that horrible video claiming that, or trying to stir up that whole half-orcs are racist debate again. I hope to God it's not that same guy, but okay. Our drafts include royalty language designed to apply to large corporations attempting to use OGL content. Okay, then. Oh, so the original language was telling other corporations not to set their fan base on fire, like what you're doing now. Great. Good job. Great job. Great start. Great start. It was never our intent to impact the vast majority of the community. It was never our intent to impact the vast majority of the community. OGL. I'm not a lawyer. It's pretty obvious. I'm a food worker. But with how much you're putting into the OGL is a big impact. If it's a cornerstone of what makes D&D and tabletop settings like that. It's never our intention to make a big impact on the community, to keep a core thing that lets our community be a community. There's no trouble in bossing, say. However, it's cleared from the reaction. We rolled a 1, but no. You see, you did not roll a 1. You rolled a number, okay? But the negatives applied to your ability to do that outweighed the number itself, okay? You didn't even roll. You attempted to roll, but the dice fell off the table, and now you're trying to re-roll. But here's the problem. As the dice fell off the table, you knocked over the soda that was open. And now everybody's sheet is covered in soda. Congratulations. Congratulations. Like, no, we rolled a 1. You were in the negatives. You're in death saving territory right now. Okay? Realize you're in death saving territory. Please. It has become clear that it is no longer possible to fully achieve all 3 goals while staying true to our principles. So here's what we're doing. Alright. Again, this is like the second time I've actually read this, so I have a little bit more calmer thoughts, but The next OGL will contain provisions that will allow us to protect and cultivate the inclusive environment we are trying to build and specify that it covers only content for table TTRPGs. Okay. Starting good. That means the other expressions, such as educational and charitable campaigns, live streams, cosplay, VTT uses, etc., will remain unaffected by any OGL update. Content already released under 1.0a will also remain unaffected. Okay, so they're backing off. They're backing off really hard. They're like, I don't want to say Looney Tunes going through a wall backpedaling, but yeah, that's what it sounded like, and that's good. But it will not contain as is any royalty structure. Okay, yeah, sure, I could believe that. I could totally believe that. Yeah, sure, okay. I'm totally convinced. Of course I'm fucking not. It will also not include any the license back provision that some people were afraid was a means for us to steal work. That's good. Now let's see the follow through. That thought never crossed our minds. Okay. The ground floor, I can understand hearing that sentence. Okay? I can understand the guys that they're not like at the high like top big wig level of decision making, but that sounds like genuine, like we didn't want to make it sound like we're stealing your ideas and stuff like that. However, the fact that Critical Role hasn't made any responses at the time of this recording, and like big streams like that, that's not helping your argument right now, guys. Under any new OGL, you will own your content you create. Good. We won't. Even better. Any language we put down will be crystal clear and unequivocal on the point. Especially after this, it better be. Like, it really better be. It really should. The license-backed language was intended to protect us and our partners from creators who incorrectly allege that we steal their work, simply because of the coincidental similarities. That's them trying to cover their ass from lawsuits. Okay, that makes sense. As we continue to invest in the game, we love and move forward with the partnership in film, television, and digital games. That is a risk. That risk is simply too great to ignore, just like me fumbling up that sentence. But, okay, that's understandable. Alright, you want to cover your ass. That makes sense. But, if you want to cover your ass, you gotta start by putting the boxers on first. And then the pants. You were caught pantsless with both your arms in the cookie jar. With that draft. And that draft was leaked. Speaking about things that can't be ignored, they're not even addressing the leak right now. I think that's a good thing so far. The new OGL will contain provisions to address that risk, but we will do it without a license. Wait, what? Hold on, I hope I misread that. The new OGL will contain provisions to address that risk, but we will do it without a license back and without suggesting we have rights to your content you create. Your ideas and your imagination what makes the game special and belongs to you. Okay. So, is that actually going to stop small YouTubers like me from getting demonetized from playing D&D music in the background? Because, okay, little behind the scenes fact, the main reason I avoid putting background music in any of my videos is because I don't do that wrestling match. Alright? Like, I mean, obviously the monologues are focused on people focusing on my acting. Okay, so background noise, I try to limit as much as possible and much of my control. That's understandable. But a lot of... For those who have not made any videos on YouTube right now, those who have either seen or have struggled to put background music in their videos without getting some sort of music company trying to steal that much monetization from it. So, I want to believe that line. I really do. But my instinct is to go like, yeah, right. A couple of last thoughts. Oh! A couple of last thoughts. Alright, we got like a section and I have a paragraph. That's... I can imagine how loud this last part of the paper was, just trying to get everybody to agree. A couple of last thoughts. First, we won't be able to release the new OGL today because we need to make sure it gets right. But it is coming. Okay, good. But... it better be gold. It better be gold. You guys are not on a good death saving rolls right now. It better be gold. Second, you're going to hear people say that we won and we lost because making your voices heard forced us to change our plans. Those people will only be half right. They won, and so did we. Okay. That is... So if anybody has worked McDonald's before, and okay, so I used to... Side tangent, but related to this, honest, okay? I used to work McDonald's, and I had a reputation that if corporate bosses... Everybody was annoyed enough at corporate bosses, but were too scared to actually talk to corporate boss when they showed up for inspections and stuff. Guess who actually sounded off on them? This guy. You could see, those of you who have worked with food corporate before, you could see how many friends that didn't make me. And one of the lines I would be fed when I would press some of my bosses with important issues, and I wasn't given it, and none of us were given an answer that we liked. The last fallback thing that they seemed to say was, well, we all made mistakes on this. Which, that's what that line feels like them saying. Those people are only half right. They won, and so did we. We all made mistakes on this. Like, no, you lost. You lost big. You lost so big that, based off the leak, this is the loudest any fan base I've ever seen be about what they love. You've lost so bad that the Pathfinder people, alright, and other tabletop systems are gaining up together as an own faction, okay, to make sure the original OGL is fine. And basically, whatever new shit you guys want to come up with, they are organizing with legal backing, by the way. Not just YouTube videos, but legal backing with proper lawyers and money to countersue and stop you guys. That's another big loss. You've lost so bad that your Dndbeyond subscription page crashed with the amount of people that were unsubscribing, and then you decide to hotfix it by trying to hide the unsubscribe bit, which is pretty fucking illegal. And I'm not a lawyer, but I fucking know that. So tell me, D&D Wizards of the Coast, Hasbro, where did you win? Attention? Clout? I mean, if you're going for attention and clout, not clout, maybe not, but if you're going for attention, congratulations. Congratulations. You somehow surpassed EA in terms of corporations to not trust. Where did you guys win? Because I must be failing my attention span save on and trying to figure out where and what you won. Because the only thing, to my knowledge, you've won is anger, disappointment, fear. I don't know what you won. If this is your version of winning, I don't want to see what you guys call winning at the tabletop. This isn't being the big bad of the end game. This is becoming the big bad of the end game and not realizing it. Our plan was always to solicit the input of our community before any update to the OGL. Okay, so just for that line alone, you're trying to tell us that whole part of the leak where you were hoping we would forget about this would happen is trying to solicit the input? The drafts you've seen we're attempting to do just that. Okay, so the draft of you basically being morality police at every table of D&D that use your one D&D books as you trying to solicit the community and update bit. Seriously, again, with that whole controversy of half-orcs are racist or not, this feels like that this is coming from that fucking mindset. We want to always delight fans and create experiences together that everyone loves. Okay, then just stick with just the original OGL. Fix the mechanical tweaks, you know? Don't go morality police. Nobody's pointing to a gun to your head and saying, "Oh, we need morality police." You know what the closest thing to morality police D&D has? It's called GMs. The guys running the game. Okay? Everybody already is fine with that. And some GMs, yeah, they are bad GMs, but they're also good GMs. Okay? If you're trying to fix the mistake of, oh, we're just trying to make sure non-cancerous GM gets a hold of our product, well, unfortunately, you're not the GM's parents. You might be. I could imagine a lot of people that work at Dndbeyond are one of those generational parents that want their kids to, if they jump into D&D, they want it to be a positive thing. I could believe that, at least from the ground floor workers, okay? But not from the higher ups. Like, this feels like this was written so rushed, 3/4 of it by the most popular guy the ground force workers actually liked, and then he was like, "Okay, big boss, we gotta set this. This is the best thing we got." And Big Boss was like, "Okay, hold on, we gotta make it more legal." And 3/4 of the shit that seems that everybody's getting pissed off is probably the Big Boss's handwriting. Like, nope, get rid of that. This will make it sound a little better. This will make it sound more better. Trust me. That's what it feels like I'm reading. Anybody else that's been reading this run into that situation? Again, I'm not a lawyer, and I don't have a business degree, but we realized we did not do that this time, and we are sorry for that. It's hard to accept your apology. I want to, but it's really hard to accept your apology right now. Our goal was to get exactly the type of feedback on which provisions worked and which did not. You were getting that in spades. Which we ultimately got wrong from you. Yeah, no, like, the amount of big YouTubers that come out with videos like, hey, here's some cool tweaks I would want to change with 5e. Hey, here's a class that's good. Here's a class that's bad. Here's how to improve a bad class. There's a plethora, like there's a full garden at your disposal. All you need to do was actually smell the flowers, but you ignored every single one of them, except for the stinkiest ones. Except for the poisonous plants. I want to believe that you guys are sorry. Any change that this major could have been done well if we were willing to take the feedback. Okay, I agree. I totally agree with that. No matter how it was provided. So we are. Oh, they're missing one word to make that actually sink in and believable. So we are now. So we are now. That would probably help you right now, but it's not. Thank you for caring enough to let us know what works and what doesn't, and what you need and what scares you. Without knowing that, we can't do our part of new OGL match our principles. To make the new OGL match our principles. Finally, we appreciate the chance to make this right. We love D&D, these devoted players and creators who take them so many incredible adventures. We won't let you down. Like I said, you really shouldn't. You're on death-saving territory right now. Like, I want to believe this. I really do. But the ship is sinking, the captain's on fire, and the only person that seems to be running the ship is the janitor. And the janitor might save the sinking ship. I want to believe this, D&D Beyond. I really do. I really want to believe this, but I can't fully. I'm sorry this took so long for a video to get up. But that's my thoughts. I might make a part 2 of this. Let's see. Oh yeah, we gotta get into the 2 principles bit. Okay, our job, going to driving these goals were 2 simple principles. Our job is to be good stewards of the game, and 2, the OGL exists for the benefit of the fans. Nothing about those principles wavered for a second. Okay, so unfortunately, just because we found everything out by a leak, that line right there is beyond false. That's probably one of the biggest insults of this update. You know what? Okay, fine. You want to update the OGL without pissing anybody off. Here's a possible fix. Okay, I don't work for you guys at D&D Beyond, okay? I'm just a food worker nerd that loves D&D, alright? You want to update it that doesn't piss anybody off, just focus on the mechanics. That's all you need to do. Just focus on the mechanics of the game. Focus on the legal protection that you want to give your players and the content creators, big or small. Okay? Sometimes the easiest fixes is to keep it stupid simple. Okay? But no, you wanted your cake and to fuck it too. Like, I'm going to try to make a video on the next update from the OGL, but I'm really just racking my brain trying to find a good thing from this article. The only thing is we rolled a 1 and we are sorry and we messed up. Yes, Junior, you were caught sticking both your arms in a cooking jar with your pants down. You want to make it up to us? Learn how to put a pair of pants on and stay away from the cookies. Alright? You're grounded from the cookies and actually use a belt before Daddy has to keep using the belt on you. And Mommy keeps having to use the belt on you. Like, that's what this conversation feels like. And I don't have any fucking kids. I'm not even married. Yeah, no, that's all I got. Hopefully next OGL update video will be me saying, yes, they started the redemption arc. Yes, we could breathe. But man, these days it's getting harder to breathe as a nerd of pretty much anything nowadays. We'll see what happens. We'll see if there's a positive or negative part 3. I hope it's a positive part 3. Go ahead, write down your thoughts on this. Till next time, fight on, Battle Brothers.